Today we're going to be looking at writing algebraic expressions from word problems. This question says that Kelly's family orders X takeaway meals a month. Each meal costs G pounds. Write an expression for the cost of the meals over £8. Sometimes we can replace the letters with numbers to get a sense of what the calculation should actually look like, and then we can go back and write the expression. So let's try that in this case. We know that the family orders X takeaway meals a month. So let's say they order 5 takeaway meals a month, as an example. And each meal costs G pounds, so let's say each meal costs £20. So we know that if we did 5 times 20, we know the cost of the meals for each month. However, we need the cost of meals over 8 months. So we know we're going to multiply that amount by 8. But in this case, we don't have a 5, we have X takeaway meals because there could be 5, 6, 7, 2, whatever number they purchase in a month. So in this case, we're going to have X, and we're going to multiply that by the cost, and that is G. Over how many months? It's 8 months. And when you write algebraic expressions, you actually don't need the multiplication sign. So we can remove that. And that's just X, G, 8. But in algebra, we tend to put the number first. So we can write this as 8xg, and that is your expression. Here we have a plumber who charges £50 for a call out and £45 per hour for each hour worked. If the plumber works G hours, write an expression for the cost charged. Now, the call-out fee is a fee that the plumber will charge regardless of whether they do any work or not. So it's just for coming out to your house to have a look, and then they'll say, yes, we need to do whatever they need to do to fix the issue, and if it takes them 2 hours, they'll charge you 2 times 45 plus the 50. If it takes them 4 hours, they'll charge you 4 times 45 plus the 50. So we know that we have to pay the £50 first. And on top of that, we have to add £45 per hour for each hour worked. Well, how many hours did the plumber work? G hours. That could be 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 10 hours. It doesn't matter. But it's called G hours. So it's going to be 45 times the number of hours, which is G. And this is how we would write this expression. This one's a little bit trickier. So let's read this first. A farmer has 14 cows. Each cow has 2 calves. The calves eat T-1 kilograms of hay daily. The cost of the hay is 50 pence per kilogram. Write an expression for the cost of hay in pounds. So I'm just going to underline some of the key information first. So we have 14 cows. Each cow has 2 calves, and it's the calves that are eating T-1 kilograms of hay. So we need to multiply 14 times 2, which gives us 28. So we know we have 28 calves. And the cost of the hay is 50 pence per kilogram. Write an expression for the cost of the hay in pounds. So we have 28 calves, and they're eating T-1 kilograms of hay every day. So we multiply that by T-1 kilograms. And we can look at this first, and we know that in algebra, if there's a number outside the bracket, we tend to just write it as 28 T-1. It's a little bit neater than writing with a multiplication sign. Now, that's in kilograms. But the cost of the hay is 50 pence per kilogram. We want to write an expression for the cost of the hay in pounds. Well, if they ate 28 T-1 kilograms of hay, and the hay cost £5, we'd multiply the entire thing by 5. If it was £10, we'd multiply by 10. So here we have 50 pence, which is 0.5 pounds. So we're going to multiply the entire thing by 0.5. Well, 28 times 0.5 or 28 times a half is 14. So the expression is 14t minus 1. And that is the cost in pounds of the hay that's eaten by the 28 calves. Let's have a look at this question. A restaurant charges £B per customer and offers a 10% discount if there are more than 4 customers in one booking. The Stone family reserved a table for 5 people and also left a £Y tip. Write an expression for the total cost of the meal. So we know that we have 5 people and each person is paying £B. So 5 times B gives us 5B. But they're getting a 10% discount on that price, the price of 5B. So if they're getting a 10% discount, it means they're paying 90% of the entire value of 5B. Now 90% can be written as 0.9 or 90 over 100. So let's use 90 over 100 for now. And we can see that we can simplify that by cancelling down. So dividing the 90 and the 100 by 10 gives us 9/10. But when we work that out, that's the 5B you can place over a 1 because it's a whole number. And remember, when you multiply fractions, you just multiply the top numbers and you can also multiply the bottom numbers. But you can also simplify diagonally. And we can see here that 5s into 5 go 1 and 5s into 10 go 2. So we're left with 1B over 1, which is just B, multiplied by 9 over 2, which we can write as 9B over 2. And the reason we can write that is because that is just over 1. B times 9 is 9B, or B9. 1 times 2 is 2, and that's what we have on the line below. But we can't forget the tip, and that is Y pounds. And that is the expression that we're left with. Here we have a tiler that fits Y tiles in a bathroom. Each tile is costing £3. He also charges £37 labour for each square metre of tiles fitted. Write an expression for the cost of fitting the Y tiles over R square metres. Well, if he fits Y tiles and each tile is £3, if he fits 100 tiles, it's 100 times 3. If it's 20 tiles, 20 times 3. So we're going to do Y times 3, but we write as 3Y, okay? So he fits 3Y tiles, because £3 times the number of tiles, plus he charges £37 labour for each square metre of tiles fitted. So if he fits, let's say, 3 square metres, he'll charge 37 times 3. 5 square metres, 37 times 5. In this case, it's R square metres, so it's 37 times R. And there we have it. Let's have a look at this one. A car uses Z plus 2 litres of fuel for each journey. Sophie makes M journeys in a week. Write an expression for the cost of the fuel in litres. So this one's a little bit easier. So if you imagine a car using 10 litres of fuel for each journey, and if Sophie makes 3 journeys, it'll just be 10 times 3. If the car uses 20 litres of fuel and Sophie makes 5 journeys, it's just 20 times 5. So in this case, the car is using Z plus 2 litres, and we're going to multiply that by the number of journeys which are made, which is M. So multiply that by M. But to write that a little bit neater, we'll write the M outside the bracket, Z plus 2, and that becomes our expression. We have to be a little bit careful in this one. Jake buys a pack of 3 pencils for H minus £2, a pack of 4 pens for 2H plus £5, and 2 erasers for U pounds each. Write a simplified expression for the total items purchased. So notice that word there, a simplified expression, which means that we're going to get an expression where we have to do some simplification, i.e. collecting the like terms. So Jake buys a pack of 3 pencils, and that pack is costing him H minus £2. So H minus 2 for the pencils. He's also buying, so we're adding a pack of 4 pens, and those 4 pens cost 2H plus £5. Also, he's buying 2 erasers, which are U pounds each. So that is 2 times U. Let's open up the brackets now. So we just have H minus 2 plus 2H plus 5 plus 2U. And if we place some circles around each of the terms, including the sign, we can look for the like terms. And I can see that I have an H and a 2H. So they're my H terms. So H plus 2H is 3H. I have minus 2 plus 5 if I look at just the number terms. So minus 2 plus 5 is plus 3. And I can't really do anything with a 2U, so I'm just going to call it plus 2U. I can leave like that, or I can change the terms around and call it 3H plus 2U plus 3, and that can make it look a little bit neater. In this question, it says the cost of 5 liters of fuel in pence is given by 2W minus 3. Write a simplified expression for the cost of 20 liters of fuel in pounds. So we have 5 liters of fuel costing 2W minus 3 pence. Let's write that down first. Write a simplified expression for the cost of 20 liters of fuel. Well, 5 liters of fuel costs that much, 2W minus 3. How many 5s in 20? 4. So we need 4 lots of 2W minus 3 to get the cost for 20 liters of fuel. But this is given to us in pence. We want the value in pounds, or the expression in pounds. So how would you convert pence to pounds? So if you're not sure, you can just try some numbers. If you have 100 pence, how do you get to pounds? You divide by 100 and you get £1. So in this case, we're going to divide by 100. But we can't leave it like this because it says we need to write a simplified expression. So we can simplify the fraction that we have here. 4s into 4 go 1, and 4s into 100 go 25. So we don't have to write the 1, so we can leave this as 2W minus 3 in the brackets, all over 25. We have a rectangle here, and we need to write the simplified expression for the perimeter of the rectangle. Well, we know what the perimeter is. It's the outside edge. It's almost like building a fence around a field. So in this case, we know that the second side here is also x minus 3 centimeters, and the other side is also 2x centimeters. So there's a couple of ways that we can write this. I'll write it the long way around, just so that you can see what I'm doing. So we could say x minus 3, which is the first side, added to x minus 3, which is this side here. I'm just keeping them together. I can go around in a different order, but I just want to keep them together in terms of knowing that I've covered both the long sides and the short sides. And then I'm going to write 2x plus another 2x. So all the sides are catered for now. I could also have just written 2x minus 3 because there's 2 lots of that side plus 2 lots of 2x. And that's probably a neater way to write this, but we'll do both methods. So I'll just draw a line there just to keep that out of the way. Now let's take a look. So we have x minus 3 plus x minus 3 plus 2x plus 2x. Let's collect our like terms. X plus x is 2x. 2x plus 2x is 4x. 4x plus 2x is 6x. And then we have minus 3. Minus 3 gives us minus 6. And there's our expression for the perimeter of the rectangle, and we can then add that units in as well. You look at the right-hand side, if we had chosen to write it like this, then what we have to do is expand out the brackets. 2 times x is 2x, 2 times minus 3 is minus 6, plus 2 times 2 is 4x, 2x plus 4x, when you're collecting the like terms, is 6x, minus 6, and you get exactly the same answer for the perimeter. In this question, it states, write the expression for the area of the triangle. Well, we need to know that the area of a triangle is given by half base height, or half times the base times the height. So a half times the base, now the base happens to be y centimeters from the diagram, and the height happens to be s minus 1. So I'm going to place that in brackets just to keep it a little bit neater. Now, if I look at this in a fraction form, y and s minus 1 are whole numbers, so I can just place that over 1 if I needed to, and I can see the fractions there. And that means 1 times y is y times s minus 1 is just y s minus 1. And on the bottom, we just have 2 times 1 times 1, which is over 2. And there's your expression, which would be given in centimeters squared. Let's try one more. Sam buys 2 sandwiches for x plus £2 each, and 3 drinks for x minus £1 each. Write a simplified expression for the total cost. Well, each sandwich is x plus £2. However, Sam buys 2 of them, so we do 2 times that. Plus, he buys 3 drinks, and each drink is costing x minus 1. So if the drinks were costing £1 each, he'd have to do 3 times 1. So it's just 3 brackets x minus 1. So we have to multiply the brackets out. 2 times x gives us 2x. 2 times 2 gives us 4. Plus 3 times x is 3x. And 3 times minus 1 is minus 3. 2x plus 3x, collecting the like terms, is 5x. And 4 minus 3 is just 1. And that's the expression for the total cost of the items that Sam purchases. I hope you found that video useful. If you did, please do subscribe to the channel and like the video. And also comment in the comments section if you'd like to see some different videos or other areas that you feel would be helpful for you. And we'll see you on the next video, and thanks for watching.